Mobile native and retired Army Colonel Pat Downing said he joined the Army in 1960.
Went to Fort Jackson, went to basic training, advanced infantry training.
After graduation, he was stationed at Fort Benning, entertaining an appeal from the company first sergeant that Special Forces needed volunteers.
I went into the orderly room, and typical orderly room was the door was cut in half, the bottom part's closed and the top part is open, and the first sergeant's there sitting behind his desk. And he said, "What do you want, Downing?" I said, "First Sergeant, who did you say needed volunteers?" And he said, "Oh, I said Special Forces, but you don't want to join them." Said, "They're like a bunch of damn spies. They parachute in behind enemy lines and half of them get captured and the other half get killed." I said, "Well, I'd like to sign up."
It was a decision that would set the stage for a long military career and service around the world, including the early days of U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. Downing's Special Forces training included parachute jumps, learning multiple weapons, and days and weeks in the field. But his primary training was as a medic.
In 1963, I decided to re-enlist for the Special Forces medical program, which was a year long. It was about 6 months out at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. You went TDY to an Army hospital for 8 weeks.
After all that training, Downing was promoted in rank and a full-fledged member of a Special Forces A-team in the 5th Special Forces Group. By 1965, he would be at a remote camp about 60 miles north of Saigon in Vietnam.
So we got mortared the very first night. Mortar rounds were coming into camp. And they told us, they said, "Well, that's your welcome to Vietnam for the Viet Cong. Know you're here now." And he said, "You've already got a $5,000 bounty on the head of the officers, the medics, and the communicators."
Downing's job as a medic was primarily the health of the Special Forces members.
So we had to make sure that our team members stayed healthy. We made sure that the food that we ate was cooked properly, cleaned. We had vegetables, that they were cleaned.
In between his first and second tours, Downing completed Officer Candidate School and Ranger School at Fort Benning and earned a college degree. He'd returned for his second tour in Vietnam as a first lieutenant, promoted to captain and a company commander while there, and finally leaving the war in 1970. 5 years later, U.S. involvement in Vietnam would be over.
Most of us watched the fall of the embassy on TV, the last helicopter taking off, and it was sad to watch because of all the over 58,000 personnel that we lost, and several times that many more wounded.
But Downing hasn't really stopped serving after his 36-year military career. Along with his best friend, Dr. Barry Booth, he was instrumental in the success of Honor Flight South Alabama, the program that took hundreds of World War II vets to see their memorial in Washington. Downing also served on the Alabama State Board of Veterans Affairs and as a USS Alabama Battleship Commissioner. But he says if he had to do it all over again, he would make the same two important decisions: marry the same wonderful woman, Patricia, his wife of 61 years, and join the U.S. Army Special Forces. Bill Riles, WKRG News 5.